Plates ready? This is Food School, Smarter, Stronger, Leaner podcast. Want to feel amazing, love the way you look in the mirror, and perform your absolute best in the gym, at work, and in life? You're definitely in the right place. Food. It's you. It builds every single cell of you. And if there is one thing every human being must master, it's food. Because at the very least, eating, you do it every day, several times a day, every single day. You might as well get good at it. I'm your host, Shurina from Create Yourself That Today, your personal nutritionist and plate watcher, your diet guide and explorer, your fat loss coach and food inspector. And just someone with a lot of passion and obsession and curiosity for healthy food, healthy diets, nutrition, optimized human performance, everything and absolutely anything you put in your grocery shopping cart, your fridge, on your plate, and in your mouth. It's my business. Food School, on a mission to help you eat better daily.
It's the last time I talk about food. It's the last time I talk about food.
Good morning, guys, and welcome again to another episode of Food School Smarter, Stronger, Leaner podcast. Thank you for tuning in today. And as promised, today we will talk about environmental fat loss, or basically how to design our environment, our mental and physical environment, to support the choices that lead to the goals, the results that we want to see in our life. You know, we humans tend to think that most of our decisions we make by carefully thinking through our decisions, our behaviors, and that most of the time we are very rational and our decisions are well thought through. But as science shows that we're not that rational, and most of our decisions are actually based on what we see, what we hear on a daily basis. Most of our decisions are based on triggers in our environment. And to master your life and to make yourself spend less energy on unnecessary decisions or spending your willpower on something that you want to design consciously your environment, so even without thinking you make the right kind of choices. And this is probably my most recent obsession when it comes to reaching our goals, to weight loss, fat loss, dieting, healthier lifestyle, exercise, and sticking with your habits. I do everything and anything I can possibly think of to design the environment that supports my goals. And whenever I work with someone, I always try to look through their environment, what people are surrounded with daily, mentally and physically as much as possible, and then I help people to design that environment better. So people too struggle much less reaching their goals and sticking with behaviors that lead to those desirable goals. Anyway, environmental fat loss. So what do I do to make sure that I stick with my healthy eating, my exercise, my healthy routines, my work routines, everything. But today specifically we will talk about fat loss and dieting. And a little bit about exercise also. So first and foremost, if you want to have healthier lifestyle, healthier eating habits, do not keep foods in your house that you don't want to eat on a regular basis. Don't keep desserts or snacks or sweets anywhere in your surrounding if you don't plan to eat them on a regular basis every single day. And if you plan to eat them, let's say maybe once a week, don't keep them at your house too. Just go out, buy them, and eat outside. For example, if you like, sweets, and you want to have sweets once a week, or you want to have some dessert and maybe some pasta or maybe some pizza, then just go to a cafe, go to a pizzeria, go to some dessert place once a week and enjoy a dessert there. even better if it's with family, with friends, and then come home and continue your healthy eating behaviors. And that way, your house, your kitchen, wherever you usually eat, is not going to be associated in your brain with those foods, and that will make it much, much easier to stick with your healthy eating behaviors more consistently. So do not keep your foods that you do not plan to eat and you want to stop eating often. Do not keep them at your house. And if you have family members who want to have them on a daily basis, then make really strict rules about when you have those foods, when you don't have those foods, and maybe make a compromise and keep those foods at least out of sight, and consider those foods not your foods. So it's foods, somebody else bought, and whenever you feel like eating something that is not on your eating plan, on your diet plan, then you go out and enjoy it somewhere else. Don't keep foods, any snacks or anything that reminds you of foods. If you're trying to eat less, stick with healthy eating behaviors, don't keep them outside kitchen. Have a designated eating area where you keep the foods, and make this place, maybe it doesn't even have to be a room, but it has to be certain space separated somehow visually or physically, and keep the food and eating in that area only. So if you work on your computer, if you sit, in your office area, if you're by your desk and you again doing some work or studying, don't keep foods there. If you want to have snack, a meal, or anything, maybe for the exception of coffee and tea, go and do it in that designated for food area. That also gonna keep your mind focused on work or studies or any other activities that you do in your office area instead of thinking about food. And that is really an amazing tool, guys, that will help a lot of you to stick with your eating plan and behavior, avoiding snacking where you work and always thinking about food. Next one, have an eating plan and stick to it. So don't ever think that, don't try to feel your way through healthy eating or better eating habits, and if you need to change those habits. Also realize that if your goal is fat loss or weight loss, then probably you're gonna need to feel hungry at some point, because your body is not going to lose anything or burn anything unless you do feel hungry at times, right? So the best way to designate certain times during the day when you usually have your meals, it can be breakfast, lunch, dinner, it can be breakfast and dinner, whatever it is you decide to do, just make sure that you plan it, you have certain times for it, and you stick with it. Don't, again, eat whenever you feel like it. This is not a good strategy ever. Also, always have a plan of what you're gonna eat that day, and it's better if you have that plan a little bit ahead of time. Don't ever make decisions about your food in what I like to call hot moments, meaning the moments when you're right there in that moment, right there in front of that food, and you're trying to make a good decisions about portions or about whether you should be eating that food in the first place or not. Don't ever make decisions then. Make decisions in advance. I usually plan my meals a day ahead. Like before going to bed, I just think through my meal plan for the next day, and then it also saves me energy for any kind of decision making and allows me to focus on other things besides food, because ideally food should be something that nourishes you, that gives you energy for work and life, that you can enjoy at the moment while eating, either alone or with your loved ones, with people you like and appreciate. And then outside those windows of eating and enjoying your food, you shouldn't be thinking about food and planning it and thinking about what I'm gonna eat next meal. That's just gonna waste a lot of your energy, a lot of your time, and also it's gonna make it so much more difficult to stick with any eating behaviors or healthy diet efforts. So have a plan and don't make decisions at spot. Also, for example, if you're going on vacation, if you're going to attend some party or event, or if you're traveling and you're going to be eating outside of your house, always also have a plan. Like if you're flying the whole day, have a plan of what you're going to eat. If you don't want to fast, then have some healthy snacks with you. Don't just hope that there's going to be some option that you like, on the plane or at the airport and you're going to have time. It's traveling is not that predictable. So always have a plan that you control as much as possible. The same goes for vacations, for parties, for weddings. I get a lot of questions about special occasions, and it's actually really easy to manage that. Just have a plan. Almost at any event, there are some vegetables, there are some protein-rich foods. Whenever you have a plan and a guideline what you're going to eat, you can always stick with that. It's not like you are in a food desert. So have a plan. That's probably one of the most important skills you can have whenever you're trying to eat healthy or have healthier habits. The same goes for exercise, guys. Have a plan. Have a routine. Don't just wake up and think, do I feel like exercise? Again, unnecessary decision making, unnecessary choices. Just go and exercise. Do something. It doesn't have to be, crush it workout. Just go and do it as a part of your routine every single day. Put your clothing outside, know exactly where you're going, what you're doing, at least where you're going, and that you're going to exercise, and that's it. And you're going to stick with any kind of behavior much, much more often when you have a plan and you eliminate unnecessary decision making. Another thing that I use very often, another tool I use very often to stick with my healthy eating behaviors and avoid any kind of binges or overeating, really unhealthy things that I don't want to put in my body when I'm in my best mental state. The game is called, or a tool is called, a little bit better. So for example, when you feel like you cannot resist, yourself, and that you need to eat, ice cream. You have this craving and you just want to have it. And you know that unless you figure out something, then you're going to have a whole pint of Ben & Jerry's or whatever it is you decide to have. So what you do is you tell yourself, okay, what is a little bit better than this choice? Maybe not, not eating at all, but what is a little bit better? So for me, for example, whenever I feel like I want to have something ice cream-like, these days, I get a can of coconut cream, the fat percentage is probably around 60 or 70% usually, and it's really thick and has cream-like consistency when you keep it in the fridge, or especially when you keep it in the freezer. And then I get some frozen berries, my favorite berries, maybe like strawberries or raspberries. So I put that in the blender and I mix it with coconut cream, and that gives the almost exact consistency of ice cream, and it's fruity, and it really kills all the cravings for ice cream I ever have. And it's actually almost perfect. It's not just a little bit better, it's a lot better. But what I'm trying to say here is, whenever you feel like you need something, special, you need a treat, you need something more delicious and exciting, and think about the ways where you can make it a little bit better. Not the exact thing that you want, but something a little bit better that will make your eating behaviors healthier, but at the same time will give you some pleasure of satisfying that craving. And then another tool really popular these days is the one that I made a video about. It's called cookie procrastination technique. When you have a craving, tell yourself, okay, so I'm not going to have this now, but I allow myself to have it maybe the next day or whatever. And then usually the next day the craving disappears. So I'm going to post the link to this video, to this cookie procrastination technique in the show notes. So check it out. It helped me a lot to stick with my healthy eating, with my diet when I needed some additional willpower. Another tool is having pictures of your new body or the physique that you want, where you always can see it, maybe your mirror, maybe at your desk, above your desk, or anywhere, maybe on your wardrobe. Have a picture of the physique that you want and maybe some foods that will help you to get there. So that's probably the only exception when I allow people to have food pictures outside the kitchen. Just have that physique and have those healthy foods attached to it, so you know what that body what do you need to eat for that body. And another last one is surround yourself mentally with things that help you to stick with your healthy eating, with your exercise habits. Listen to the podcast of people who exercise, sharing their experience, their exercise routines, and why they choose to stay fit every day. Watch some videos of recipes of healthy foods instead of, watching some recipes of treats and desserts with a lot of sugar. Watch something healthy being cooked and get excited about trying it out. Listen to podcasts about nutrition, about healthy eating, and why you should be thinking about what you put on your plate. Just surround your mind with as many cues that support your behavior as possible, and eliminate as much as possible everything and anything that does not support your goals. Because if you look at it, if you think about it, if you hear it, you're probably going to do it. And it goes to bad, quote unquote, and good things. Because for your brain, there is no such thing as good or bad thing. There are just things that your mind is exposed to and encounters every day, and things that your mind forget about, never registers, never sees. So whatever you look at, whatever you hear, whatever you listen to, whatever you think about, you're gonna do it or engage in behavior related to that in one way or the other. There is just no exception. So understand this, guys, and surround yourself with things, with behaviors, with situations that support your long-term and short-term goals, support the results that you want to see in your life. And to recap, this is the most important thing that you want to learn today. In order to make the decisions that support your goals, your results, that supports your success in life, create the environment that promotes the behaviors, the habits that you need to engage every single day in order to get those results and those goals. And this is as easy as it sounds. And that's why also they say you are the average of 5 people who are around you most of the time. Because if you see people most of the time, eating unhealthy foods or complaining or not exercising or binge watching Netflix or binge drinking or something, if you see it on a regular basis among the people who you surround yourself with, then you're going to be kind of average among those people. So be very careful what you expose yourself and your mind in your environment on a regular basis. So that's it for today, guys, for environmental fat loss and environmental health and exercise routines. If you have any questions, feel free to shoot me email to angela@createyourself.today. I'm always happy to help with environment design, so you too could reach your goals, your health and fitness goals much easier. Tomorrow we will talk about some of your tricks and habits that you guys use to support your healthy eating, your fitness behaviors and goals. And then Thursday or Friday, we're going to have a couple of guests for this week Food School podcast. So stay tuned. It's going to be interesting. Thank you guys for listening, for tuning in. And once again, till next time, eat better daily.